I define self-compassionate leadership as non-judgmental awareness of our internal states, empathetic acceptance of our imperfect humanity, and thoughtful accountability for leading ourselves and others. Harris spoke to the same point when he said, "A lack of love is at the root of our most pressing problems, from inequality to violence to the climate crisis." Obviously, these are all massive problems that are going to require massive structural change, but at a baseline, they also require us to care about one another. And it is harder to do that when you're stuck in a ceaseless spiral of self-centered self-flagellation. If you just rolled your eyes and audibly sighed, I get it. I've come to the topic of self-compassionate leadership only after many decades and detours. I struggled throughout my school years and during the first few years of college. Dyslexia and the need to cope with a learning difference in traditional educational settings shaped much of my early life experience. I was unfit for the traditional educational system, which led me to question my intellect, abilities, and worth from a young age. I attended 7 universities and dropped out once for an extended break before graduating with a master's degree in organizational behavioral psychology from Claremont Graduate University in Southern California. I don't have it all figured out. Rather, I've found something that has fundamentally changed my life and the lives of thousands of leaders I've worked with as an executive coach. I know I'm not alone in the struggles and challenges that leadership brings. I hope what I learned can benefit you in the profound way it has impacted me. My 15-plus years of experience in talent development and leadership coaching have given me a front-row seat to observe company cultures in the U.S., U.K., and Canada, while working with 3,000 emerging and seasoned leaders in mid-size and Fortune 500 companies. In one-on-one conversations, group coaching sessions, and workshops, I gathered data on what stands in the way of effective leadership, how the stories we tell ourselves limit our capacity, and how we can create cultures of trust by first learning to trust ourselves. I combine that practical experience with the latest research on leadership development and behavioral science to teach leaders like you how to transform old habits and dysfunctional patterns holding you back so you can uncover who you really are and who you want to be. As the saying goes, change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. It took Harris decades. It took me decades. How about you? What led you to select this book? Even though the mention of self-compassion induces an involuntary cringe in so many high-performing leaders like you. When it comes to work, we're often concerned that self-compassion will kill our motivation, dull our competitive edge, and make us weak, complacent, or prone to self-pity. The opposite is true. Compassion is a feeling of deep empathy and concern for the well-being of others, paired with a strong desire to help. As Harris says in his TED Talk, self-love, properly understood not as narcissism but as having your own back, is not selfish. It makes you better at loving other people. Most of us consider loving and caring about other people an important virtue of living in human society, yet we scoff at directing the same principle toward ourselves and in turn toward our approach to leadership. Even though most of us want and value love and genuine care, we somehow exclude this value from how we run organizations, lead teams, and build societies. Research by Laura Bernard and John Curry at Duke University shows the practice of self-compassion leads to higher levels of life satisfaction, happiness, self-confidence, optimism, curiosity, creativity, and gratitude. People who are compassionate toward themselves are better at seeing failure as a learning opportunity and maintaining motivation in the face of adversity. Ask yourself, wouldn't that be a big plus in your personal and professional life? Bernard and Curry found that self-compassion decreased anxiety, depression, stress, rumination, perfection.